Hello everyone, today we are going to be talking about how our dogs begin as one tiny cell and turn into the multicellular organisms we all know and love as our pets.
The first thing to look at is the sperm cells, which come from the father of the dog, and the egg cell from the mother.
Each of these cells have half, also known as the haploid amount of chromosomes as a normal dog cell.
This is so that when they join together, they have the normal amount, which is 78 chromosomes, which in this video we will represent with only 2 chromosomes to lighten up any confusion.
You may be a little bit confused with the words chromosome or other words that we may say throughout this video, so let's take a look at the chromosome. Chromosomes are condensed versions of genes. Chromosomes consist of 2 chromatids connected at a centromere.
So now let's take a closer look at genes. Genes contain DNA. DNA stores genetic information which codes for proteins, traits, and many more.
So let's say this one part of the gene codes for eye color. The genotype of that gene will be BB, which are the alleles, letters representing a genotype. And the phenotype will be blue eyes. So now that we've learned more about chromosomes and genes, we can talk about mitosis and how one cell turns into many cells.
Of course, before you make a unicellular organism become multicellular, we need to create more cells, and the cells need to be perfectly replicated by a process called mitosis. Before mitosis, interphase needs to occur, which is when the cell grows, creates new organelles, and most importantly, replicates DNA.
Once interphase has created enough DNA organelles and has grown enough, the cell can start mitosis. The first step in mitosis is prophase. During prophase, the cell's chromosomes go from looking like yarn to becoming condensed into almost an X shape. Also, the nuclear membrane begins to go away, and the spindle fibers, also known as centrosomes, begin to go on opposite sides of the cell.
The next step in mitosis is metaphase. During metaphase, the nuclear membrane is now gone. The chromosomes line up in the middle of the cell, and the spindle fibers have officially moved to the opposite sides of the cell, and they begin reaching to pull apart the sister chromatids.
The third step is anaphase. During anaphase, the spindle fibers have attached to the sister chromatids, and they begin pulling them apart to separate them.
The final step is telophase, which is when the chromosomes are now on opposite sides of the cell, and the nuclear membrane begins to form around them. Towards the end of this step, the chromosomes begin to unwind and go back to their yarn state.
Finally, after mitosis is complete, it is time for cytokinesis. During cytokinesis, the nuclear membrane has formed. The membrane is pinched to form 2 separate cells. Chromosomes have officially unwound.
So now these cells divide and turn into 4 cells, and the 4 divide to create 8, and the 8 into 16, and 16 into 32, and so on.
So now you may be wondering, how do these cells differentiate? Like, how come these stomach cells become different from the cardiovascular muscle, which appears different from the skeletal muscles, which are different from the esophagus and the hair cells?
The answer is stem cells. Stem cells are cells that can turn into many types of cells depending on the needs of the organism.
So now all of these cells divide and differentiate until we have an organism that begins looking like a dog. And they continue to do the same and grow until they are born, and they continue to grow.
Now you may be thinking, well, if all the genetic information was copied perfectly, all dogs would look the same. And you're pretty much correct. Appearance can change due to environmental factors or just genetic errors called mutations. Some mutations are bad, but the good ones are what make you different from everyone else.
I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a lot from it. Until next time, peace.